Hello everybody, how y'all doing today? I'm Stately, this is City Skylines. Welcome to the fair town of Good Intentions, where today we're going to work on our new neighborhood some. It's over there. Oh, still got some abandonment issues. But before we do that, I want to do a couple little things over here. Bodacious Beach looks nice, and I'm pretty happy with it, but it's kind of hard to get to, especially this stuff back here. So what I'm thinking we might do is put down some kind of footpath here, so that we can kind of let people get to the beach without having to zigzag halfway through town. I'm not quite sure how well this is going to work, though, but let's go ahead and give it a try. We'll start off with the boardwalk texture, and we'll just kind of expand it out from here on a reasonably tight loop. I'm going to go straight for just a little bit. Let's turn all of the snapping off, because none of that's going to benefit us today. Except maybe the angle snaps. We like the angle snaps. The shortest possible road would be about that. And now we'll kind of try to loop back. We'll go like this. And we'll raise this up some. Like so. And then we'll... No. I mean, that's close. But not quite. So what if we do, I don't know, a right angle here? Really? Okay, that's kind of not what I had in mind. What about that? That actually looks more complicated than it needs to be, doesn't it? Let's try to simplify this a little. We're just gonna run a little curve over to here. Honestly, let's just try a single curve and see how that looks. We'll just go from here to, I don't know, right about here. It's actually not too bad, is it? If we raise this section a little bit. That's a perfectly reasonable little slope. So that will allow people to get to the beach a little easier. It should also help with service vehicles, because as you can see, I'm a little unclear on why people just ignore the vehicle restrictions on some of these paths. It's odd. Let's see if we can just smooth this out a little bit farther. Maybe raise this a tiny bit. Maybe not that much. Crap. Raised it just, look at that. We're suddenly getting a lot of traffic using this. That's excellent. Including this guy. Dude. Don't be this guy. Alright, that one's gonna have to come down. I don't want any tall buildings here. I like this one. We'll make this one historical. But this one is getting bulldozered. And let's hope we get a good one in exchange. No, maybe we shouldn't even have this here. Maybe we should have a couple of... whatever. It's fine. I like it. But let's go ahead and just dezone that. We'll dezone this little corner here too. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and make this historical so it doesn't turn into a hotel. That's good. I'm going to put down a few more trees here to kind of smooth out the terrain, make it look a little more natural. And we've been using the only palm tree in vanilla Skylines, which is this guy. Yeah, a lot less brush strength though. You know what happens when we use too much brush strength? Bad things happen when we use too much brush strength. Really, that's all I'm getting? Fine, it's fine, everything's fine. Okay, I'm gonna use TMPE to set up some restrictions here, because for some reason, I guess we need to allow garbage trucks. But that's all I want to allow here. And any like service vehicles that come in through here, like delivery vehicles, they can take the detour. That's no big deal. So it's not bad. Let's put down some vegetation along the cliffside here to smooth things out a little bit. Brush size 1, thank you very much. I'm just kind of rotating as I go so we don't get something that seems too monotonous. Let's see, smaller ones? I know there are smaller ones. Something like this. And we can go back and put down just a few more of the big ones. That's not the one I was using, but who doesn't like variety? That's too big. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's nicer. And it's actually getting a fair amount of use too, so we're going to call this a success. Excellent. All right, now moving on. Let's see, any disasters that need our attention? I don't see a single blinky thing anywhere except these guys are complaining about crime. Okay, so this area here, this new little city section, it has a cool little hill here, and I want to put something unique on top of it. So let's see what we have to work with here. Department store seems somewhat uninteresting. A bird and bee haven, you know, I'm thinking more monument. That's kind of nice if I can find something to go with it. A giant mall, lungs of the city, that's a nice city park, but that's also not really the look we're going for. Sea fortress, no, an old castle would be nice. The expo center, that would be an inconvenient location for an expo center. A ziggurat garden. It's very expensive upkeep-wise, but we're making a lot of money now. Oh, that's what I'm talking about, an observation tower. Yes. Only 560 a week, and it looks good, and it's going to look awesome up top there. That'll be just excellent. Okay, let's start off by putting down a road to attach it to, and it's a little crowded up here. We don't have massive amounts of space. Let me do this just to identify the highest point. Okay, that's pretty straightforward, right? So we want our observation tower to be right at the center there. And let's go ahead and put down a road. What kind of roads shall we use? Let's do something 4 lanes and decorative. That's a big road though. I think we're going to stick with 2 lanes here and kind of focus on public transport for getting here. So this will be fine as far as having a place to connect it. Let's go ahead and put our monument down. Ah, that's lovely. Look how nice that is. Very good. And just looking at the way this is set up, I think we're going to have to lower it a little bit. Like so. That looks pretty okay. And yeah, so let me see if I can come up with a longer road without breaking stuff. Actually, what I think I might want here is a little room at the front to have maybe a metro station or whatever public transport we decide to use to let people get here. And that should be okay. We're going to turn our snapping back on and hopefully we'll be able to put this in without too much trouble. Yeah, well, technically that's without too much trouble. It's just a little low is all. Raise it up just a little more. Try to get it more or less even. Okay, that's fine. Let's move this side just a little, and I should be dealing in straight lines here, make my life a lot easier. Because now I can just align this stuff. Already occupied. Ocupado. Move it out a little bit. That's not going to be an issue. Okay. We have some definite terrain level issues to deal with here. Get all of this nice and flat. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but it definitely has to be better than this. Hello? Not what I was trying to do. What I'm trying to do is get this all nice and self-contained. Yeah, almost. Almost. Can we just select one of these, please? Thank you. It's still not quite square, is it? I think that'll do pretty well. Let's go ahead and get it all horizontal. Or close to it. I don't know if we're going to end up with issues if we get it too crooked. That looks pretty good. And then I think we'll put down a small key here as kind of a visual support. Make it look a little bit better. Yeah, not the water tool. It's the water tool in the landscaping tool. And it's the first one. What's under here? I just have two of the same tab, don't I? Okay, and a bunch of fences for some reason showing up as water structures. Not sure what the deal is with that, but here's the plan. We're going to go from here to here, and then we'll raise this up to the same level as the land behind it. This side needs to go up a little bit higher. And that looks pretty good to me. So now let's go ahead and expand on this a little bit. We'll put down some roads around it. Slope too steep. Oh no, you didn't. Maybe to here and then over to here and then back up to here. And again, we'll have to raise some sections. I'm not going to try to get this horizontal with the other section. It's okay to have a bit of a slope here, but we do want it to be, you know, possible to navigate this. So something like that, I think. And the fact that we have a bridge here is not a big deal. Okay, let's go a little bit further here. If anybody knows of an easy way to like force several nodes to be at the same height, please do feel free to let me know, because that would make me happy. What are we doing here? Oh, I still got the bulldozer activated. That's what we're doing here. We don't want that. Okay, a little bit of leveling is in order, I think. Brush size somewhere around there. Brush strength somewhere around there. Right click here and use this button. And flatten this out. There we go. Okay, now we're going to lower this side just a teeny tiny little bit. Like that. And now we should be able to slap down that second road section without too much trouble. And now, just looking at this, I'm reasonably sure that we need to extend our key around the corner here. So back we go here to right about here. Really? Is that how we do this? That's not how we do this. Tell you what, let's start over with this. I think that might be cleaner. We'll go like this to here, and from there to here. Oh, look at that. I have created a hole in the world from which to summon Cthulhu. Okay, let's raise everything to right about there, and then we'll do them individually until we get this all flattened out. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look how nice that looks. Doesn't that look nice? I think that looks real nice. Sorry. Practicing my nasal voice for no obvious reason. And then we'll do the same over on this side. Shall we kind of be Spartan with this and move it in completely so that it's right up against the roadside? Kind of like the way that looks. I think these need to go up just 1 or 2 notches. I'm still getting these little holes here and there, but I think we can fix that with just a tiny little bit of adjustments here and there. Okay, and then we'll do one last section over at the back here. And out to the same length, which will be here. And we just need to lower this side a little bit until it's right up at ground level, like so. Right? Okay. That's coming along pretty well. We just move these in the same way we did on the other side. There. Yeah, that's pretty good. And now we can, no, this one. We can kind of smooth down the rocks along the side here. Although we can apparently not smooth it down completely. But we can get a nice cliffside out of it. That's odd. Normally it's not so hard to, like, make this go away completely. You should be able to, like, do this, but it seems like it's kind of hitting a limit somewhere. Now I'm kind of flattening the area out here out so that we can have maybe some kind of road going around this with possibly some commerce or something. And then this cliff wall. Honestly, I kind of like the cliff wall. I don't know if I can put down like more keys or something. It's pretty steep, but I like that. I think that looks pretty good. So as far as getting up there goes, this is reasonably steep, but I think we can just run a more or less straight road up. And we're gonna continue using the same road. Slope too steep. Yeah, I know. Alright, that gets us up reasonably well, but it doesn't really get us to our location. That said, maybe we'll go ahead and put in a few more blocks here. We could just go like this. Space already occupied. Oh, because of this thing. Okay, anarchy on. There we go. And we'll go like this, and over to here, and up to here. That's obviously not a good look, but we are going to have to come down here. We can't maintain this altitude. That looks credible. And this looks credible too. Okay. So, we have our kind of steep cliffside here that we can't do much with, but we can go ahead and get everything connected now. A simple curved road right into the middle of this should do, I think. That's a little sloppy, isn't it? Kind of stubborn. Let's, instead of this, we'll go straight to, say, here. I'm still getting a bridge, which is not what I want. We have tools for that. Ground forces the ground to follow the elevation of the road. Ah, poop. That's not what I was trying to do. It's alright. We'll fix it. Can we fix it? Yes, we can. That's much better. Yeah, that's very nice. And then, well, then what? I think maybe we don't need this section. And that'll allow us to expand a little bit on the theme here. Get some more nice roads in. Maybe we'll take this and have it go straight for a little while, and then we'll have something to connect the other roads to. So we'll go here, right? Yes, no, straight line. To, why is it not letting me snap on this? Oh man, why you gotta be like this? Here, keep the angle on and snap to road guidelines only. Keep the angle on. Like that. More of these, like so, and like so, and like so. And then we'll start putting down some commerce here. We got to get some water running up here, and we'll need some electricity, obviously. Although we might not need to do a whole lot with the electric. Now we're good. We actually already have power. Excellent. So let's zone this as tourism. From here to here and around here and all the way down here too. I think we might have something in this area for the tourists to play with as well. And probably not over here, but it can't hurt. There we go. And we'll call this Spire Hill. Do we have any cool themes for it? Not really, I guess. Nothing particularly appropriate. Policies. Recycling, because it's kind of far away from our nearest garbage collection. What does Parks and Recreation do? Increases Parks and Plazas budget by 20%, but increases land value as well. That sounds like fun. Recreational use, absolutely, and tourists in the area, if you choose to visit parks, no. Recycle plastic, sure. Free Wi-Fi, yep. And there we go. Okay, let's let's turn the game on again. Let's get the simulation going. And B, we're not going to be able to put many big things in here because a lot of these locations that we have to work with are, well, you can see for yourself, they're kind of uneven. So we will settle for strips. We'll do one here, and we'll do one here, and I got my roads mixed up. Is that what happened here? Because I'm looking at two different types of road. We got roads with a bike lane here. We got roads with the grassy verge. That's not what we had in mind. This is what we had in mind. Very good. Now, there is 0 parking here. So let's do something about that. This is going to be very difficult to put down parking because those things need to be horizontal, and if they're not, bad things happen. Wait, did we turn this into a tourism zone? I'm thinking I might have not turned it into a tourism zone. Yeah. Here, commercial specializations. Leisure, tourism. There. Now you're a tourism zone. What about a parking garage? Should we just like have a parking garage at the... This is pretty big. It's not going to fit there. I was kind of thinking, what if we put it at the base of the hill and turn this whole thing into walkable space? But that might not be the greatest idea I've ever had. I mean, so many things aren't the greatest idea I've ever had. That kind of goes without saying. Is this silly? Can we put it down here? I mean, like here, right? That's actually not terrible. as long as people are willing to walk a little bit, but I don't know. Let's, I wish I had a slightly smaller parking garage to work with, is what I wish, but no such joy, I'm afraid. So, what if we, like, take this and just turn it into parking? And you know what? I'm gonna replace these with smaller roads. We're gonna use the, same grass verges as we've used elsewhere. There, that looks better to me. This is actually surprisingly flat. Let's dezone here for now until we've worked out exactly how we're gonna do this. And oh, I paused the simulation again. I seem to kind of do that as a matter of habit, not necessarily on purpose. Let's see, we're probably looking at a 4x2, because an 8x2 isn't going to fit. One and... come on. 2, and then we'll take a 3x2 to fill it out. Need to get it right there. Okay, so we got parking, and that looks decently flat. So let's go ahead and zone here, and I'm gonna put a little bit of low density in addition to the high density, just so that we can get some variety in our stuff here. And that's kind of a tiny little tourist district, isn't it? Yes, breaking the parking garage. Why are they sad? It's just a parking garage. That doesn't strike me as being anything worthy of your sadness. Okay, alright, let's let this grow a little bit. You know what? This corner here. Let's just get that even. And then... I know I took it out before, but I am thinking I'm going to put that second bit of key back because it looked better with it than it does without it. So straight line, blah blah blah, to right about here, and then from here to, let's say, here. And now we raise the ever-living bejesus out of it because it's giving us holes in the world. And, well, you don't have to be an occultist to know that holes in the world are bad news. Who knows what eldritch horror could sneak in. There we go. Much, much nicer. Is that flat? That's close enough. I think we have one section here that just needs to come down like an inch. Yeah, this is filling out nicely. It should be pretty good. Traffic, on the other hand, is not yet convinced, and I can't blame them because it's kind of hard to get here. So, what are our options? Should we run a metro line up here, or just a bus? Buses that sounds boring to me. A boat, yes, let's have a ferry terminal. Dig a canal and put in a bunch of locks. A monorail, a cable car. I mean, if there's anything that was like designed for a cable car, right? And we could put that down here. Although not like that. The question is, where would it go? That's a crazy long way for a cable car, because we'd have to run it to, like, here or something. I'm not seeing that. That does not strike me as being an especially good idea. So let's stick with something a little more conservative, if you will. Trams or maybe a bus. It's going to get hard to get people here. Or what about a blimp? Should we have a blimp coming up here? And if so, from where? I don't understand why I'm having a death wave here. We have plenty of facilities. So I'm just going to let that pass, and unless it gets completely out of control, I'm not going to make a big stink about it or anything. So those blimps... It looks like we need to put down another police station. And I guess we're gonna have a police station just for this section here because the cops just aren't coming, man. There we go. It is what it is. I kind of... Oh, I had a trail running there, and I just mercilessly bifurcated it. That's okay. Alright, you know what? For now, let's run... I can't decide. We're not going to get many tourists here if we don't have decent transport, because it really is a long way up, and these buildings are all going to go out of business, basically, if I don't do something about accessibility. So... this is what you get for making these sections like 1,000,000 miles away. Let's keep expanding for a little while, and then we'll think about what we can do. What I'd like to do here is put down a couple of alleys, kind of bifurcating these sections to... Alright, everybody turn your snap off. Just make things a little more interesting road-wise. And here, do we just kind of end the alley here? I guess we can. Like that. And we'll go with some more... Look, there's a police station right across the street, guys. I don't know what the cops are up to. I get the distinct impression that there should be more of them. Ah, the autosave pause. Gotta love it. And a little bit of commercial in the corner here. I don't have any offices here. I'm kind of thinking this isn't an ideal office location. And here, because it's so steep, we'll just use some of the tiny single houses. You know what we could do, though? We could make this like a self-sustaining area. Should we do that? Maybe, maybe not. More alleys, please. Snap to... let's turn the snapping back on, and we've got, yeah. Like so, and like... So these are just houses I'm decommissioning here. I just figure the alleys will make it all more visually appealing. Although, I don't know if we need like a dirt road coming up out on the main road here. Maybe we'll just leave that one be. And let's fill this all in and see what we get. I'm sure it'll all be lovely. If somewhat inconveniently sloped, perhaps. There we go. We got room for a couple of buildings here and here. That's excellent. It's turning into a nice little neighborhood already. I kind of don't like the fact that this alley just ends here, but it's okay. Once there are some buildings there to kind of hide that, I think it'll all look a lot better. Now, back up here, we have not a lot of commerce and a lot of space to put it in. I want to fill out what we can here. And that's not necessarily a lot. Look at that, the parking lots have filled up pretty well already. That's good. But it's got a nice view. You can come up here and you can see the entire city. How cool is that? So I think we should do something cool here. And by something cool, I mean, I don't really know what, but I'm thinking a commercial area with some kind of park in the middle. So we're going to go ahead and put down some connecting roads. Into here, and these are all the same length. This will allow us to put down a nicer, more even semicircle. I'll use these just for the sake of consistency because we're kind of not paying a whole lot of attention to parking availability here, and I feel like people should be at least able to park a little bit. That's good. We'll do one more level in. And you know what we'll do? So let's carry this on with some footpaths. Let's come up with maybe this guy right here, and we'll go straight line, please. Go in by about that much. That's that one right there. And then we'll connect these guys together like so. And we'll go on past here. Like that. Oh, why are you all upset? It's just a frickin' footpath. Okay, that's how far we'll go. And over here, same thing, just fill it out a little bit farther, not quite to the base of the hill. Like that. Okay, so I'm thinking some kind of park here, but it might just be like a handmade park of some kind. And I don't know, I want to extend this road a little bit farther out. Right to the base of the hill here. There we go. So I'm not entirely sure what we'll put there for the time being, but this area here is definitely kind of nice. It's kind of nice. And now we do have an excuse to slap down a parking garage, I think. 80 and 40. Is this the smaller of the two? It is the smaller of the two, but I don't like the way it goes perpendicular to the roads. It doesn't really fit in any of these designs here. All right. No. Nope, 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 nope. Let's Let's pop it down like at the edge of the district. There we go. That makes more sense. It actually kind of seems to fit in there. Alright, a few interesting parks to kind of buff up the value here. And let's see what we have in the way of pretty things that we maybe haven't used before. I got a lot of things that are downloaded that are marked as parks, but aren't really all that parkalicious. Maybe a plaza of some kind. There. And then we'll start building around this. Let's see. So on the outside, we can have some larger low-density commercial buildings. I've paused the simulation again, haven't I? I don't know how I keep managing to do that. It's just some kind of subconscious tick at this point, it seems like. And it's getting a little steep there, so that's as far as we'll go, I think. And we'll continue with the low density here. And here. Around this side as well. And then as we get farther in, we'll put down some high density things. These zones are kind of small, so I don't know how hokey this will or won't look. There's one way to find out, right? It's starting to fill in pretty quickly, isn't it? That's good news. Well, we do have a fair amount of demand, so it's not, like, especially surprising. And now, just for the sake of a tiny bit of variety, let's put some office buildings down over here. Just so that there's something to do here that isn't, you know, hotels. So we've got a nice little plaza. We've got some commerce popping up here real nice. We have our hilltop region here, which I think looks pretty good. And then we have this, and I think maybe this will just be a nice park. Let's I'm thinking maybe not even like a city park or anything like that. Maybe just a park-like area where we maybe zone a few things. Did I zone something there? I don't remember zoning something there. That's not happening. Nothing personal, but you can't live there. Hello? That was the autosave freeze. It likes me. The autosave freeze thinks I'm its friend. Okay, so we will put down... I mean, we could make it a city park, I guess. No, there's not enough room to do anything substantial. Let's just go ahead and tree this area up. Bigger brush size, lower brush strength. Grab this. Then we'll grab something contrasting and smaller. Maybe these guys. Alright, that looks pretty good. We can put down some decor. What kind of fountains do we have available to us? These round fountains. No, I'm gonna have to go with a brush size of 1 on that. And they're pretty small. Oh, check this out. This is nice. Put it right about there. That's reasonably central, I guess. And we'll go down and do some standard dirt paths from here on out. Let's run one for maybe turn the snapping back on just for convenience. Maybe from here to here, and let's turn that into a gravel path. There we go. One on the other side, maybe right about there. Not quite. Oh, you know what? There we go. That's what looks good. Just move this over a little bit so that it kind of sits in the middle. Okay, decent little park section there. Our office area here is not exactly filling out. I guess that's not too surprising. It's kind of an iffy choice of location. But the rest of this is doing pretty well. This whole crime thing here seems to be a serious issue because, you know, even with the police station right there, these people are still getting criminalized. It's very strange. Okay, now, a little more foliage to make the area seem... Yeah, okay, one at a time. I mean, we can do it one at a time. But why would I? And I can just slap trees down as if they were going out of style. And this slope here is really not that appealing. I think that looks pretty good. Vegeta. Okay, maybe I should have stopped typing on that a little bit sooner. And we're going to go single, slap, rotate. Grab a different type here. Switch again. Go back to the first one. That wasn't the first one, this was the first one. Very nice. A few more up here. I'm kind of liking the way this looks. It's tempting to just fill the entire thing up with this foliage, but there are certain in-game costs to consider when you do stuff like this, and you just don't want to go completely overboard as a rule. I'll bet you we can get a couple of things zoned in here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we absolutely can. So let's go with... I don't know. Let's just see what pops up. Go with some 2x2s across the side here. Right up to there. This would be too steep. Even if we can zone something there, we probably don't want to. Just because it'll end up looking funny. Oh, and our offices are starting to fill up a little bit too. That's good. Okay, so my biggest issue now is that this entire area can only be reached by road. And it's a fairly significant drive from literally anywhere. So that's not ideal. Also, I kind of set this out in the assumption we're going to go farther beyond here, and for now it looks a little funny, but I think we'll just leave that. Our options here are to run a subway up, expand it from here, or I guess a tram or a bus. I'd really like to get a cable car, but it's not high enough. There's just no, like, realistic place we could run a cable car to from here. Unless it was like from the bottom of the hill or something. These cops are useless. This neighborhood has like its own private police station. And there's still people that are just not getting visited at all by the cops. It's infuriating. If this were a live stream, I'd be like, what do you guys want me to do here? But it's not. So let's go ahead and start simple. We'll run a bus line up and down the hill from the metro station. And if it turns out there's 1 million people on the bus line, well, you know what? Then we'll replace it with something more robust. So right across the subway station here, like that. And is this just going to be like an express line? I think we should just make this an express line. Let's put a stop here for people who have to go to Omnom Valley. And we'll put a stop here for people in town, but that's it. Okay, we'll put 2 stops here for people in town, but that's it. And I don't see why they shouldn't be able to get off directly in front of this thing. Right there. Okay. Now we'll just match all of the stops on the way back. And this is going to be a hell of a bus ride. But I think it should work fine. Okay, and there is our bus line now. Check this out. There's the bus. I think we should follow it. I think, yeah, we're kind of at the end of the episode. Let's follow this bus up to its new route and up to the top of the hill. I will mute the microphone so you guys can watch this in peace and quiet. And I'll thank you all for watching. I will implore you to subscribe, and I'll ask you to tune in next time. Take it easy, folks. Peace. So yeah, it's come to my attention that this may be the wrong bus. We should have buses coming out of the depot here. And they're all... Where are they going? No, he's going exactly where he's supposed to go. As I believe is... Whoa, okay. That's a busy road. As is this guy. So let's go back to... following this guy here. And once again, thank you for tuning in. I'll shut up for real this time, and we'll see you on the flip side.